I want to give you an example. I like to use myself for an example. This happened to me last year. As you heard, I am in Leadership Tallahassee Class 25, the greatest class ever. We always do that. What is that? It's a little bit corny, isn't it? But anyway, we were about to get together. Now, this is, I've meant to mention this word. Anybody ever heard the term zeitgeist? It's a beautiful, beautiful word. Zeitgeist. It means the intellectual, moral, and cultural climate of a given era. Zeitgeist. Listen, look at it. I know some of you are going to look it up anyway. Let me see if that girl, I never heard no zeitgeist. But if you look it up, you'll see that I'm right, because I looked it up before I got here just to make sure. But the zeitgeist of this era is inclusion. So we have to do whatever we can to get where we need to get, because it makes us more sellable. Not only do we have to look at the dimensions of diversity in our own nation, many of us may think at some point about going global. And some of those people are very, very different than us. Once we get a curiosity mindset or inclusion mindset, it's not nearly as difficult. So here I am. I'm about to meet with a friend of mine. She's, I guess she's a friend. She's an associate of mine. We went through Leadership Tallahassee for about 6 months before we had this meeting. And I was all set. I had on I don't work every day. So some days people meet with me and I have on, sweatshirt and blue jeans or whatever. And what I was wearing was important. Had on my Gator sweatshirt. The Gator sweatshirts means a lot to people. I like orange. That was the only reason I got it. It's so funny. People give me high five or look at me funny. And I'm just like, I like orange. Relax. So anyway, I'm waiting on her. She comes in. And I was expecting her. I knew she would be dressed up. She's a lawyer. She works every day. She was dressed up. That didn't bug me because I knew her. But she came this time with her husband. I wasn't expecting him. And he walked in. I mean, he was beautiful. White man. Really. Kind of reminds me of this. I hate to point you out, but kind of reminds me of this fella right here. Very beautiful. His haircut was a little tighter, though. It was like edged. And so he was white. He looked very tight and reserved. And something in my stomach, sometimes there is something visceral that happens to us around differences, right? Something in my stomach just kind of got tight, like, I don't know, this man makes me uncomfortable. And I felt it. I'm like, what in the world's going on with you, Yolanda, right? So part of what was going on with me, that he was white, tight, and reserved. That suit was like it cost $5 billion. And I instantly felt intimidated by him. But what my mind tells me, I don't want to hear nothing from you. Ain't nobody asking to come. I didn't say that out loud. I was just thinking that. I asked him to come. All the while, my stomach is just tightening up. And so what I had projected onto him, I had no idea who he was. I projected all of that onto him. Not only did I project onto him what I thought he was going to be like, I projected onto him what he might think I was going to be like. And for all of 2 minutes, I was extremely uncomfortable. And here's the action piece. I said to myself, he's giving his wife sugar and whatever, and all this is going on in my head. They're re-greeting each other, and I'm like, Yolanda, you need to relax, baby. You need to relax. I want you to just breathe. You have no idea who this man is. Just breathe in and breathe out and open up. Just breathe in and breathe out and open up. And that's exactly what I did. My body responded to what I told it. Relax. You don't know who this man is. And it's not white men. I work with white men at TCC, but they're all hippies. You're just like, what's up, girlie? We just all play. It's all, not like, I don't know, senators or whatever he looked like. So, and I did. I relaxed. I opened up. He turned out to be much more wittier than I thought he was, but he was reserved. He was his own brand of diversity. And I needed to know that I was safe there. Not safe because they were going to protect me, but safe because I was already complete. I was bringing something to the table, and he was bringing something to the table. We don't always start out like that. Sometimes we have to practice. That is a fundamental action that you can take when you find yourself feeling uncomfortable with somebody because of your own projections. I had no idea who he was. And sometimes we even know people, but that doesn't mean we know what they're going to give us in this given moment. Right? Just because they said something last time doesn't mean that something didn't occur. And that's what's scary, I think, about differences. The unknown. Something really wild and crazy can happen. Yes, exactly, which is what we need. Wild and crazy and new. That's innovation. That's creativity. The other action that we can take is just to look at you don't have to tell anybody, just look around when you go back to work and look at your team. Look at your organization. And then, one of the things I learned in Leadership Tallahassee, we are all leaders. If you're a professional, you're a leader. And you can go to your next team meeting and go, you know what, you guys, I love all of us. When we're going to diversify, we need some new blood. You know, we need some black people, some gay people. We need somebody with disability. We need some new energy, boo. We need to expand. That would take an extraordinarily large amount of courage to do that. But we have to. The zeitgeist of this hour is inclusion. And your competition has already picked up on it. America is not becoming less diverse. It's becoming more diverse. We all know that, right? It's the cocoon. It's fear. There's nothing to fear. The same world, the same universe that held you and protected you during cocoon will openly embrace you in this new world of innovation, creativity, and beauty called the butterfly. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Yolanda, so much. From one chocolate child to another. Here we go. Thank you.